What's up, y'all? Good to see you. No matter where you're watching from. If you're watching by YouTube, welcome. If you're watching by Facebook, welcome. If you're watching by LinkedIn, welcome. I am Donald Morton, Chief Visionary Officer of Remand. And at Remand, we help Black men interrupt patterns and disrupt behaviors and break the vicious cycles of missed potential so that that man masters his own life, his sense of leadership to his family, and his legacy with business and culture. I'm excited to be with you today. Let me see if I can make myself look a little better on camera. I need some stuff, right? And some background stuff, some foreground stuff. Yeah. So my wife and I just moved into a new home, and so we are trying to make sure everything is solid. So listen, I wanted to come on. I wanted to talk to you about the M4 Summit. The M4 Summit is coming up. Let me see if I can create a banner for it while I'm also waiting for my good friend, Dr. Leroy McKenzie. M4 Summit. All right, there we go. Scroll across the bottom. That's what we want you to do. There we go. The M4 Summit. So if you are, I am a speaker with the M4 Summit. The Remand Project is a partner. The M4 Summit, we want you to be there. Whether you're a man, whether you're a woman, we want you to absolutely be there to be a part of what's going to be history in the making. When I say that there are brothers from across the globe, across the country, around the globe, Australia, Britain, it's California, Atlanta, just places across the country. It's just phenomenal. So we would love for you to be present, love for you to be a part of it. Let me see if I can't want to see any comments that you guys are making so that we are getting all of the information to you. So I'm waiting again. I'm awaiting my good friend, my dear brother, Dr. Leroy McKenzie Jr. to join. And I'll also see where you guys are on social media so that I can engage with you as well. Let me see. Here we go. Let me turn this down so that we are not loud. There we go. All right, good. Right, good enough. I'm seeing myself there. I'm gonna share this inside the group, Remand Community. There we go. Right, good. I'm now over there inside the Remand Community. I'm going to share it on Dr. Leroy McKenzie's page. Let me see here. So when you are here, say something to me. Let me know that you are present. It's taking a minute for the algorithm to kick in. It's cool. I get how it all works. It used to frustrate me, but it doesn't frustrate me anymore. What's up, black man?
There we go. There we go. There we go.
Yes, sir. I was just talking to everybody about how frustrating Facebook can be sometimes when you don't understand the algorithm, when you don't understand how
Yeah,
it
yeah,
works
yeah, definitely.
for people to let's see, for people to come on and know that we are present. So let me see where else I want to cast this. I don't know. So we'll do it. What's up, man? Good to see you. It's been a long time.
I know, right?
Yeah,
What Big Boy say, and I don't know if you remember this from the movie ATL when he was talking to the young brother. He's like, I ain't seen you in a while. Where you been? Where you been?
where you been? Yeah, absolutely, bro. Let me see. I'm trying to find some other places just to kind of share this. Um, okay. Yeah, so people will come on when they come on, man. They'll get a chance to watch the replay. I wanted to talk with you, man, about this M4 summit.
Yeah, brother. Yeah, brother.
We were just over on IG. So say hello, Dr. McKenzie, to our Facebook fam, our LinkedIn fam, our YouTube fam. We are broadcasting in all of those spaces right now for everybody to be a part of this conversation. Say what's up to the folks.
What's going on, party people, in the place to be? I know hip hop 50 years,
No, you didn't.
50, hip hop 50 years old this year, y'all. So,
People partying in the place to be. Yeah, bro. Oh,
yes,
absolutely.
sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Always, all love hip hop. I'm a hip hop head till I die. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah, for
So,
sure, man. We were born at that time. That now, I love the music now, but that music back then, bro. Oh my God.
yeah, it ain't nothing like it.
And nothing like
Nothing, it's just, it's what we grew up, because both of us are 54, what we
yeah.
grew up on. And real quick, before we get into what we
Turn
get
54,
into,
Leroy.
say it again.
When did you turn 54?
January. I turned 54 in January.
All right,
So
just
I'm a couple months older than
no,
you.
no,
You
no.
know
You're
what I'm
not a
saying?
couple months older than me. When I was 53, you were 54.
All right.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So I just wanted to get that out because on IG you clown me. On IG you clown me. So I want everybody to know what's good. When I was 53, you were 54, right? So in January, I was 53, right? You were 54 in January. Okay, I just want to make sure everybody clear.
And my birthday is January 3rd, so it's always at the beginning of the year, and
Oh,
then
yeah, man.
it's the whole rest of the year. Everybody else
So you
celebrating their
about to
birthday.
turn 55. You're
Yeah,
closer to 55 than you are 54.
yeah. Now, yep, yes, sir. Yeah, in 5 months,
Yeah.
I'll be the double nickel.
Yeah,
You
double
know.
nickel. Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. So we'll talk about that. Go ahead, man. You were saying something.
No, in terms of hip hop, I don't know when do you remember
Did
the
I fall in
first
love
hip
with hip
hop
hop?
song? Yeah,
You
because I
know,
know
you know. Yeah, yeah.
for me it was Sugar Hill Gang, Rapper's Delight. I remember hearing that song and like, man, just kind of bobbing your head and everything to it. That's like the first hip hop song that I remember out, being out, and
You
everything
want
like
to
that.
perform it for us right quick?
Oh no, I ain't doing no bars from it.
You want to perform it?
Now, what you hear is not a test. I'm rapping to the beat. Say me, the groove, and my friends were about to move your feet.
Absolutely, boy. Yes, sir. I was a fan of Run DMC, man. I mean,
Yeah, absolutely,
Run,
absolutely.
Run I mean, whenever you can rap about sneaks,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, my Adidas,
Adidas, yes, sir.
right? Yeah, man.
Mhm.
So Rappers Delight, my Adidas, LL,
Oh yeah,
Cool J,
yeah,
um,
yeah.
right? Rock the Bells.
For real, for real.
Yeah, so those were my people, man. We're on the day. We just left IG. We popped over here to Real Talk so that we could talk to brothers and sisters about the M4 Summit. Man, what is the M4 Summit, Leroy? Remand is partnering with Dr. Monica Jackson. Um, and something special is about to happen in September, man. And I wanted to make
Yeah.
sure you and I got an opportunity to talk about it.
Yeah, man, the M4 Summit. For those that haven't heard about it, aren't familiar with it, it is going to be a life changing summit that is happening on September the 22nd to the 24th.
Yeah,
And what it is, the M4 stands for men. I want to make sure I get this right. Men, message, mission, and movement. But
yeah,
it says men with a message,
yes,
men on a mission, and men creating a movement.
yeah, yeah,
So that's what this is about. Now, and we'll talk a little bit about this too. It's not just for men,
yeah,
but this is dealing with men's issues and the way that we as men kind of see things is coming through the lens of of men. And Dr. Monica, who is the creator of this M4
yeah,
summit, has done a phenomenal job because she has a passion for making sure and ensuring that men get seen, heard, and appreciated. And so she brought these 12 dudes together and
yeah,
said, I want y'all to talk about some stuff.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Not just
yeah,
talk about some stuff. I want you to talk about your stuff.
yeah,
now,
yeah.
now, Donald might have a different word for it, but I'm saying, I'm
What, what,
saying, I'm
what's the
saying
word that
stuff.
if you were me, Leroy, like you're not me, but if you were me, what word would you use if you were
I,
me? Like if I
bruh,
were to use that word, what word would that be?
yeah, bruh, I told you. You like Pinky in the brain. Am I, what's up? What we doing today, Pinky? The same thing we do every day is try to get Dr. Leroy to say a
Yeah,
curse word.
I'm trying to get Leroy to cuss, y'all. Leroy, he will not do it. When I tell you that this brother is disciplined, he will not do it. He'll come close. He'll say he'll leave the longest blank between words, but he just won't say. And for those of you that don't know, check this out. And this is real talk. I mean, I laugh about cussing all the time. People ask me, man, you cuss? You a preacher? Well, I'm not a preacher. And I cuss because sometimes that's all brothers understand. And the truth of the matter is, there is science behind taboo language that suggests that using language like that interrupts patterns. It creates a way for a brother to hear. So I don't want you to feel like I'm on here just being vulgar, right? Because that's not my twist. People that say, anybody that cusses doesn't have a large enough vocabulary to express themselves, they don't know me, because my vocabulary is expansive. I don't cuss just to cuss. I cuss to interrupt a pattern. I cuss to break through. I cuss to kick in the door, because sometimes brothers are so used to language that is soft and clean and pristine that when I come along and I make statements, they like, oh, and some of them don't like it. But at least they'll listen to me mad in a way that they won't listen to some other guys. And that's just my style. Look, whatever your style is like, that's not Leroy's style. But he's impactful as well. It's just my style, and it's authentically me. And I'm not going to change it for anybody. Now, for those of you that have said, you know what, I would love Dr. Morton to come to my church, but I can't trust what that dude is going to say. Trust me when I tell you, I pastored for 25 years and didn't cuss in the pulpit. I know how to control myself. It's all strategic for me. So I don't want you to feel like I'm going to come into your pulpit and cuss everybody out and use foul language inside your church. Come on, man. You got to know that I'm wiser than that, right? But even though I don't cuss, I'm still coming raw. It's just my style. So enough of that. The M4. Go ahead, Leroy. You wanted to say something?
No, and I think you touched on something that I think is important and that has to do with the M4 is we have to be authentic. We have to be transparent in
Yeah,
who we are. And coming to this summit, you're gonna hear men who are authentic.
Yeah.
They're not coming. It ain't necessarily gonna be pretty.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It
Yeah. Yeah.
ain't gonna be all dressed up in it, as you always say. It's
Right.
not that pretty stuff. It's not
Right.
the soft stuff.
Right.
The issues that we're dealing, or the concept of the summit, is men with real issues.
Yeah. For sure.
And so there's no sometimes you do need those interrupters, as you said. You
Yeah.
need something to
Yeah.
disrupt
Yeah. Yeah.
the
Leroy.
patterns. And you say this all the time. We as men, and specifically black men, we're in crisis.
Yeah. Yeah, bro.
And you have to be willing to disrupt that. What are you willing to do to disrupt what's going on?
Yeah. 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 I want to talk about that too, man.
Yeah.
I think that's a brilliant point that you pull out, right? Um, that because we're in crisis, doing what we've always done doesn't work. It just doesn't. And I'm willing. Tell me how this sounds, Leroy. Let me just kind of tell me how this sounds, man. I'm willing to piss a dude off. Like, as you know, right? I've pissed you off on occasions, and you push back, and we push back and forth. But there's something that emerges from those conversations.
Yep.
I grow, you grow. We know where to pull it, right? We know when to pull back. We don't offend one another. We understand one another. And I come into relationships with brothers recognizing that they have not reached their full emotional capacity and potential, that they don't really know all this in them. And my job is to agitate it. That's
Mm.
my job. And if I'm willing to risk, I was in therapy yesterday with my wife. Right, we since we've been married, we continue marriage counseling. Right, we don't want to be bananas out here. We continue marriage counseling, and so we were in it with our therapist. And one of the things our therapist said was, "I want to do something here, and it's risky, but you're
Mm.
worth the risk." It changed my life. She said, "You're worth the risk. I don't know how this is going to turn out. I don't know whether you're going to get upset with me. I don't know whether you're going to get upset with one another, but I'm willing to risk it." Here's why I say that, bro. I cuss. I'm in a brother's chest. I have a very aggressive disposition, bold and forward disposition when dealing with brothers, because I'm willing to take that risk.
Mm.
I'm willing to risk a brother not liking me. I
Mm-hmm.
couldn't care less whether he likes me. I want him free, right? I'm not here to be passive. I'm not here to be liked. I'm not here for any of that. I genuinely want to see a brother free. The highest form of emotional intelligence is love and freedom, right? So if I genuinely love a brother, then I'll do everything possible to liberate him and to make him free, right? And the reason why many brothers, and we want to talk about this today, Leroy, the reason why many brothers aren't free is because nobody's been willing to tell them the truth.
Mm. Mm.
Can you talk about that a bit?
Ooh, and I like the way you said that. And here's the thing, that someone may not be willing to tell them the truth. They aren't even willing to tell themselves the truth. And like you always talk about, dealing with that man within, that deals with you telling yourself the truth.
Oh, absolutely, man. Absolutely. Absolutely, it does.
And dealing with that fact. What are the and y'all know what, well, we dealt with this. What are the facts?
Yeah. What are the facts? Don't give me your feelings yet. I'm interested in your feelings in a moment, but right now I just need to know the facts. I need to know the rot gut truth about what you're dealing with. The rot gut truth, right? And many times brothers love to tell a version of what's happening and not the truth of what's happening.
Mhm.
The truth
Mhm.
is, you don't like your wife right now. You don't like her, right? And instead of saying, I don't like my wife right now, instead of saying that, you create all these other alternative realities that, and because people let you get away with that, uh, uh, Pookie, people let you get away with that. My nickname in my family is Buddy. They, now my mom, God rest her, man. That's my baby, Leroy.
I
Um,
know.
I pause every time I speak her name, man.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
my mom was pretty straightforward, but she was savvy, right? So now my mom with her great grands, like her great grands got away with everything, right? In ways that my sister lives in Philly. Her name is Jackie, right? So Jackie and I, we ain't get away with nothing. The grands, Kamisha, Annette, Jeff, Mike, right? The grands, they ain't really get away with a lot either. But the great grands, oh my God, they say whatever they want to say. They say crazy stuff. My mom just laughed, right? But I have found out that the beginning of transformation, the beginning of mastery, happens when I'm willing to embrace the reality. If your marriage isn't where you want it to be, you're not like your wife, you're not liking your husband, you got to acknowledge that. You can't fix it until you acknowledge it. You can't fix what you won't face, right? My wife says you can't heal what you're not willing to feel, right? So being able to sit in the fact I don't like my wife. I can't stand her. Now that's just a reality. Doesn't mean it can't be changed. It just means right now that's the reality. When your money is funky, you got to be able to say I'm broke. I'm broke because if you don't face that reality, if you have this alternative reality of what my therapist calls toxic positivity.
Wow.
Toxic positivity is your unwillingness to face the reality, but substitute it with something positive. Like I'm
Hmm.
not sick, you are sick. Like if your body, now we do want to get to a place where we say something different, right? Because death and life is in the power of the tongue. But you got to acknowledge the reality. You can't walk around with a broken arm saying my arm's not broke. That's
Right.
stupid, right? So if your marriage is in trouble, you got to be able to embrace my marriage is in trouble because I got to do something different to get it out of trouble. But if I never acknowledge that it's in trouble, I'll continue on the same path. So I want brothers to come to the M4 summit because there are 12 guys, including myself, that are from around the world, literally, that are telling the rock gut truth. And I want brothers to grow comfortable with telling the rock gut truth, right? And I want sisters, this is a part of it, Leroy, I want you to talk about. I want sisters to grow comfortable with leaning into the discomfort of hearing the rock gut truth. So when a man says, what you said hurt me, what you said really bothered me, I feel disrespected. That you don't defend yourself, you explore it with him.
Mm.
Like, babe, tell me what just happened. Right. Um, and in saying that, being able to sit with it and explore it so that your thoughts determine your feelings, your beliefs determine your action. I gotta be able to choose a belief that's gonna get me to my goal. Because if I'm always offended, I got to ask myself the question, is the offenses that I'm taking leading me toward my goal? And if they're not, I got to make a different kind of choice, right? So what I think is most brilliant about the M4 Summit, bruh, is the fact that these are men that are courageous enough to share their stories with people across their country and around the world. not knowing. It isn't just the awkwardness of it, Leroy. Talk about this, man. Sharing truth without being courageous enough to share truth when you don't know how it will be used.
Yeah, and right. And I think that we as men deal with that, and I think that's where the apprehension comes from, because we a lot of times we feel as if that what we when we are transparent and we do express our emotions, and you said something that was real key, the emotional intelligence. When we do express our emotions, that those very emotions that we do express are going to be used to ridicule us, to make us feel, to emasculate us, to be able to be used as a kind of as a sword, or as a tool against us. So we don't open up, because we've been taught as men that when you are emotional or you are transparent, you are vulnerable.
Yeah,
And we're not supposed to be vulnerable, which is nothing further than the truth.
yeah, yeah,
We do have to, here's the thing, we have to be comfortable with being vulnerable.
yeah.
And like you were just talking about a little while ago, with women, they have to be comfortable with us walking in our vulnerability,
Absolutely, man.
because we've been taught all our lives, women, it's okay for a woman to be vulnerable.
Yeah,
She's the weaker vessel, she's supposed to be that way.
yeah, yeah,
But when you have a man who is supposed to be, supposed to be emotional as well, because we're human beings, so
yeah,
that's what we're conditioned to do.
yeah, yeah,
When we step into that space, oh, there's this, like you said, there's this, I'm not used to seeing that, because most people aren't used to seeing that.
yeah, 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 yeah,
They're
yeah,
not used to having that in that, whether it's in their family, whether it's in their friends,
yeah,
whatever the capacity that it's in. That's something that's not used to people seeing, and that comes to what you were saying about, we got to disrupt that pattern.
yeah, 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 for sure.
You disrupt that pattern, and you say, you know what, yeah, that I didn't appreciate the way
Yeah,
that you
yeah,
said that to me.
yeah, yeah,
And she, like you said, she'd be okay with saying, you know what, oh, because what we want to do is, first thing we want to do is get defensive, whether it's a male
defensive.
or female, is get defensive, instead of stepping back and saying, okay, let's have a conversation.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Now
and
that's
and let's
grown man stuff, man. That
Yeah,
that
that's
that you're
right.
talking about is grown
Exactly.
man stuff, right?
Yeah, right.
The ability to not get defensive. Like
Mhm.
sometimes my wife can say things to me and I get defensive. So
Mhm.
I'm
Mhm.
working through now one of the Psalms 119, bruh, verse 165 says, "Great are those that love thy law,
Mhm.
nothing shall offend them." It's a powerful scripture because what he says is when you have a clear word from God about who you are, what you're called to do, particularly who you are, and that word doesn't necessarily have to come from the Bible. It has to come from you having a connection with your Creator and being connected enough to hear, right, and to be solid in what He tells you. And when you develop that, nothing shall offend you.
Yeah.
There's nothing
Yeah.
that Marla can say to offend me when I'm clear about who I am,
Mhm. Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
So I had to work even recently at not being defensive, no matter what she says,
Mhm.
right? But to embrace it because I'm clear about who I am and what I'm about.
Right.
Um, and so I want brothers to understand that transparency and authenticity breed intimacy. That
Mhm.
if you want, I'm going to blow some people's minds and theology up with this, but just hear me. When you want intimacy, communication is necessary, even
Yeah.
when communication comes in the form initially of arguments, because you don't argue with anyone you don't care about.
Mhm.
Let me say that to y'all again so you get it. You never argue with anyone you don't care about. You only argue with people you care about. So a part of what a man is called to be is transparent. Transparency gives you always ask for your lady, your friends to see you. Like, you can't see me. Well, they can't see you because you're not transparent. The word transparent means to see through.
Mhm.
But when you've
Mhm.
got all these layers and you're trying to hide because you're afraid of the discomfort that comes with exposing yourself, then no, they can't see you. And now the responsible party for not being able to see you is you. It's not them. They want to see you, but you're unwilling to be authentic and transparent. That's why I don't like the term safe space. Like, you and I have no idea what people will do with this. People can take our conversation today, they do it all the time. They can take our conversation today, take a clip
Yep.
and put it somewhere, and it'd be absolutely nothing to do with what we said.
Right. Right.
Right? So if a man is unwilling to be misunderstood and to risk not being liked or being mischaracterized or all of those things, if a man is unwilling to do that, then he will always live his life in hiding. Can you talk about that a bit?
we we as men, we just really, and I talk about this all the time, the miseducation of manhood, and we've been taught how to, that what we're supposed to, what this is, what this thing called manhood is supposed to look like, what it's
Yeah.
supposed to be, all the time. And there's so much of it. Yeah, some of it is accurate, and was supposed to be this way, but so much of it is this misnomer, and it is in. I think it's inaccurate. People can people can disagree with me, but
Yeah.
but I think that it is, a lot of it is inaccurate. And I was thinking about this. This week I'm talking about being a visionary, right?
Mm-hmm.
But as I was looking at the 5 character traits that I'm talking about this week, I think it applies to what we're talking about here as being men.
Yeah.
This is what manhood is.
Yeah.
And the first character trait I talked about was, which you said was emotional intelligence.
Yes.
Which, and I'll let you explain it, because I know you can do a better way of probably explaining what emotional intelligence is, because a lot of
Yeah.
people don't even know what that
Yeah.
is. Can
Yeah.
you real quick explain what emotional intelligence is?
Yeah, man. So emotional intelligence is the capacity to be aware of, to control, and to express one's self healthily, as it relates to his emotions, right? So emotional intelligence is not having emotions. Emotional intelligence is, I'm aware of what I feel. I'm going to express what I feel. I'm aware of what I feel. I'm going to control and manage what I feel, and then I'm going to express what I feel. So a man that has a degree of emotional intelligence is able to ace it. Ace it. Ace it means I'm aware of it, I control it, and then I express it. So I'm not doing it in a way that is unhealthy. I'm doing it in a way that is very healthy. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir. Makes perfect sense. Yeah, I like that. I like the way you put that too. Ace it.
Yeah.
And so that was the first character trait, and the second was creative. Being, we as men have to be creative in how we deal with these different things that we're dealing with in
Yeah.
life.
Yeah.
Because, like you said, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over
Different
and
result. Right.
over and over again,
Right.
and
Absolutely.
and then expecting a different result. Well,
Absolutely.
if what you're doing today has been what you've been doing,
Yeah.
where's that gotten
Yeah. Yeah. And
you?
and again, I want to express this, and we got about 5 minutes, man. We got to
Okay,
go. We
okay,
got to eat lunch.
exactly.
Yeah, I got to eat lunch. Um, brothers, I want to get this to you. Sisters, I want to get this to you as well. wherever your external reality is showing you, it is a mirror of your internal reality every single time. You do not have a different external reality than you do an internal reality. You don't have a difference. There's a difference. So if you want to, there's no difference. So if you want to change what you're seeing externally, the only way to change that is what's going on internally. It is a movie playing. It is a projector. Your spirit is projecting something for all of us to see. So your problem is you think that you can continue to just like if you lost a job and you get another job without changing the projector, then you're going to get fired from that job too. If you get divorced and you don't change the projector, you don't change the movie, then you're going to get divorced again. Ask me how I know. Right? So what I had to do is change the projector. I had to change the movie that was playing. That inner thing, character. My thoughts determine my feelings, my beliefs, my actions or behaviors, my habits, my character. That is the way that it works. My character is going to be the impetus to whatever destiny that I'm going to have. Whatever my character is, my destiny will ultimately be. So in the next 30 seconds, Leroy, talk a bit about M4 and talk a bit about why men and women should be there. I'm gonna give you the final words and I'm going to eat.
Yeah, here's the thing, everyone, both men and women. This summit will give you the opportunity to be able to hear 12 brothers talk about how they changed their projectors.
Yeah.
They've encountered issues in their life and they decided to change their projectors and not just look at it from an external
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
So they'll give you the black print. Yeah. I think I heard that. I think I heard that from somewhere before.
The black print. Yeah, Leroy, my wife is calling. I'm gonna put myself behind the screen, man.
Okay.
She knows I'm still on, so I'll call her.
Okay. So really quickly, but you'll get to be able to get these stories. You'll be able to get knowledge. You'll be able to get information that you can use.
Yeah.
In being able to change your projector.
Yeah.
And these tools will work for men and women. So that's why we encourage women to be there, for one, to be able to say, I got some things I need to deal with too.
Yeah.
But this will also give you, as we talked about when we were on Instagram, this will give you an opportunity to understand the men that you have in your life, not just your spouse, not just your boyfriend and everything like that, but your brother, your uncle, your father, your dad.
I'm hearing in my spirit, a lot of you sisters, it's your dad.
Yeah. Right. Right.
And being able to understand, because while your father may not be on the panel, your father's on the panel. And you got to understand why he hasn't been around. I don't give a damn why he ain't been around. Why not? You want him to understand you. So I'm asking y'all to show up. Like Leroy said, like Dr. Leroy said, it ain't about just your spouse. And ladies, come with an open heart, because it really ain't about, even though Leroy said, and he's right when he says you can be helped too, that this ain't really about you. This is about men. You guys have space. Men don't.
Yeah.
So come into our space and try to understand us. Try to feel us.
I like that.
Try to look at what we're dealing with through our lens. Put your judgment aside. It's a non-judgmental space. Put your judgment aside. Bracket. Suspend your position. And step into the space open to hear from every brother. And sit with all the emotions that are going to come with it, all of the challenges that are going to come with it. Sit with it. and humanize your dad. Humanize your husband. He ain't mean. He's a man that has been traumatized, doesn't know how to express himself. He's a typical dude. And let him cry, even if his tears are coming through the eyes of another brother that will be on this panel. Let him say yes. Let him shake his head yes for once in affirmation that that's exactly how I'm feeling. And I thank God for another brother who was able to get that expression out so that I could affirm what I didn't have the words to say. Meet us at M4. You'll see across the screen, Dr. Monica Jackson /M4 Summit. It is on September what, Leroy?
22nd through the 24th, y'all.
September 22nd through the 24th. I am going to be there. I will be speaking. I will also be doing a Q&A. You don't want to miss the session. Listen, what I got to say is worth the price of admission. What I got to say is worth the price of admission. You got brothers from around the world that will be there. Each of them have a unique perspective, and we value everyone's perspective. I will be there, and I'm dropping fire. Y'all know I throw bombs. I throw bombs. This is what I specialize in. I'm in the infantry. I throw bombs. So I need you to be present. Any last words, Dr. McKenzie?
No, just be there at the M4 Summit, man. It is going to be, you won't leave the same way that you came. Yeah. I promise you that. Yeah. And y'all know, anyone that listens to me, they know my mission, my purpose, I always say, is to make you better by the end of the year than you were at the beginning of the year.
Yeah, for sure.
And these type of events are those things that make us that much better, that make us, I always talk about that 1%.
For sure.
Just 1% better each and every day. So come get on the 22nd, 23rd, and 24th, get 1% better each day when you deal with what's going to be dealt with at the summit.
For sure.
You can't help but be different. You ain't leaving the way you came, I promise you.
For sure. For sure. Hey, brothers and ladies, we're getting ready to hop off, but I want to tell you that the Remand book is being audio recorded as we speak. It will be out in October. It will be at the Remand brand activation that is happening October the 13th here in Atlanta, Georgia. You got to be here. Every single brother fly in. The experience is going to be crazy. It's going to be absolutely crazy. You want to be here, and you want to also make sure that you have your copy of the book. Go to www.theremandbook.com, www.theremandbook.com. Get your copy of the book. Guess what? It is at a 97% discount right now. 97% discount. All you got to do is go and pre-order the book. Once it comes out, price goes up. I told you it was going to do that before. It was at, I forget what price it was before, $35. You missed that time. Some of you got it at that time, but now it's up to, I don't know, $49 or something like that. And it's worth every penny because of all the stuff you get with it, right? So you're not just getting a book, you're getting a whole experience. Go to theremandbook.com, order it. Go to drmonicajackson.com/M4 Summit. Get your ticket for the summit, and let's show up and do the understanding thing so that we can be better people, have better relationships, and do better business. I love all of y'all. Love and respect you, bro.
Love and respect you back, brother.
Talk soon, man.
All right.
All right. Peace.
Later.